There's a light, there's a light that shines inside of me. Oh, there's a light, oh, there's a light that shines inside of you. There's a light in me and you. Oh, there's
Oh, yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. Unanswered prayers. Have you ever sent a prayer up to the universe, asked God for assistance, and you think your prayer was unanswered? God answers our prayers in so many ways. The universe is always rearranging things to accommodate us. But how does that really work when we feel like we have no answer? I have people tell me they've been praying for things for years. Sometimes no answer is the answer. It means wait. Something's being orchestrated that's better for you. There are dreams that are meant to happen for you, but it's not the right time. It's that you're asking for something that is really not as good as you imagine. So the universe is preparing a different version and thus sparing you your choices. You see, there's a plan according to the divine. And we have within that scope of the plan our ability to decorate and create a life that we desire. But in our ability to create the life that we desire, we learn to ask and desire things based on what we think would be good, based on what we believe we want. And sometimes in the conditioned self, in the conditioned way of our personality, we've come to want things that in the end aren't beneficial for us, don't allow us to feel free and happy, because they are really just more complicated and difficult after we get them. Let's take that relationship that you were praying for. And as you prayed for that relationship, you wanted something that came. But then you realize, oh my goodness, it's a trap. It's just like the last relationship. You see, it was your part of your being, your personality, your wounded self, that was asking and wanting something so that you didn't have to be alone, so you didn't have to feel the fear of being alone and learning how to work on self. And you felt that the other relationship didn't work out and you just wanted to be happy, and you had given your power away that someone else would make you happy. No one person makes you happy. No one activity really makes you happy. It's an experience that you enjoy. You enjoy a person. But they don't have the power to make you happy or make you unhappy. They create energy that is comfortable for us and harmonizing, or it is triggering and destructive, depending on the relationship that you've picked. And then there are things we want that are seemingly intangible. The big things, the ability to have more money than we do, the great house, the house on the beach. They're seemingly intangible because there's a part of us that doesn't seem to believe that we deserve that house or that's possible. I'm blessed to sit across from people often that they say, I really feel like one day I'm going to win the lottery. And I say, really? then you must feel that in your soul. And usually their answer is absolutely. Absolutely, I feel that I'm going to win the lottery. And so I laugh and I say, then you're going to win the lottery because you feel it. But the hiccup in the process for many of us is that we may think we're going to win the lottery. We may aspire to win the lottery. Heck, we may even play to win the lottery. But do we really believe we're going to win the lottery? When we're playing that ticket, do you believe you're going to win? And then when you didn't win that time, do you get all bent out of shape and be like, oh man, this lottery thing, I'm not going to win? And feel disappointed? Or do you say, I put my energy forth. This time it didn't connect, but I know next time it will. Often we set our intentions, but they have so many conditions and rules and regulations around the accomplishment that we squeeze out the possibilities, making them minute to happen. Because we don't give ourselves room to grow. Room to grow into our thoughts and our feelings and to expand, to think better, high vibrational thoughts, to a joy as if it was done already. And they can see themselves walking on the stage, getting the diploma. Many actors and actresses, they see themselves up on the stage, receiving an award. Many people who have stepped into the energy of creation have already seen the vision of it accomplished before it actually happens. That's much of what the law of attraction is all about. But what about those prayers that seem to go unanswered? The reunions with a lost love, the feeling of fixing a miscommunication among family that never really works out, the inability to feel fully healed physically. What about the desire to move to a location because we think it's the perfect place, but we never seem to get there? What stops us from these things? Some things is our inability to line things up in the physical and back them up in the emotional and spiritual vision. But many times it's the divine intervening on our behalf, not to punish us. We've thought of the divine sometimes as a punishing God that doesn't let us have what we want because we're doing some kind of petty want. And I'll say, well, I need to sit with it for a while. And someone would say, well, you don't know what you want? And I said, well, I know what I want, but is what I want for my best and highest good at this moment? That's where the pause comes. Now, that doesn't mean if I'm out somewhere and someone says, do you want lobster or some other piece of food, I wouldn't be able to pick between the two and say, let me check with spirit. Should I have lobster? I'm not going to say that. But there are things in life that we know are important in the choices we make. And sometimes even when we find ourselves in a jam. Have you ever found yourself in a jam? I sit across from a lot of people who are stuck, and I don't mean in blueberry jam. I mean they made themselves in a jam and they don't know how to get out of it. So sometimes while we're in a spot, a difficult spot, we have to maneuver within the spot. Even though we're praying for God to take us out of the mess we've made. Fine mess you've got yourself into. And yes, sometimes things just open up and things change. But oftentimes we have to make a series of maneuvers so that while we're finding a better way to make something palatable or easier in a difficult spot, the universe is lining up a new place to live for us, or they're helping us get the right people on our side to help us out of a difficult relationship, or preparing a new job role in a company that would be ideal for us, but we don't know that, and we think God isn't answering our prayer, and we are asking to get out of the job, and we're sending 1 million resumes, and nobody's answering. but there's a job for you. It just hasn't come yet. And maybe if you had checked in and plugged in and waited and did the pause before making a decision, what would happen? You wouldn't have been at the job you're in, so you wouldn't have been in the tough spot. You wouldn't have been in that difficult relationship because you took the time to pause and say, is this for my highest good? Is this my higher self choosing? Or is this something caught up in my personality just because I want what I want? And we don't pause and check in. We often check in after there's a mess. I had a call today. Been a long-standing client. And she had made a move. She had quit her job and she went to work with someone that she's dating. And earlier in a previous reading, we had discussed the person she was dating, but something's not solid about the person. And I expressed that to her, but I say, listen, you're enjoying each other's company, continue on the path, and just see what's there. Well, apparently she quit her job, she's working for the person, and she calls me after the fact today. And she's asking questions about the relationship. She's asking questions about the person. She's asking questions about work. And essentially, he's not already living up to the promises of what he'd said he would pay her for work. And so she's already behind because she's getting paid less. Not behind in bills, but she's already not in a good spot. And the relationship is not living up to all the promises, but she's trying to decide if she should wait it out. And there's a part of the higher self that when they're guiding and we're not getting sucked into a trap or reacting just because it's emotional and, oh, I like this person, so if I help them, they'll love me more. Or if I'm with them, then of course we'll have a relationship because we're working together. There's this dynamic of things that goes on in our minds and in our feelings. That's hard to articulate because it's unique unto each person. So my thought is, before you make that move, if you're seeking counsel, wouldn't you have wanted to call SarahSpiritual before you made the move and left your job? Wouldn't you have wanted to sit and be still and meditate and really ask yourself and notice the red flags and decide if they're worth the chance with your livelihood? Now, this is not a critical statement. This is just how we work as humans. You've done it. I've done it. We've all done it. And so the lesson here is to sit and be still. There's a line that says, be of courage and know that I am God. Another line, wait upon the Lord. Wait upon God. God helps people. The universe helps people. The angels help people. The divine, the creator, mother, father, God, however you want to refer to a divine power. And that power is the power that will guide you every step of the way. And so when we find ourselves in a position of a story or a circumstance that's unappealing to us, sometimes it's not that the prayer is going unanswered. It's just things have to recalculate to bring us to something different, to something better. And there isn't a quick fix to that because everything has its timeline. And this too shall pass. There are things that we will go through that will be uncomfortable. And is it that the divine and the universe wants us to suffer? No. Is much of mankind's suffering at its own direction? Yes. Is there a way to ask for assistance to remove us from conflict and hurt and pain? Absolutely. But a way to avoid it is to ask, is this for my highest good? Is this something through the eyes of the divine that I see? Is this something that is for the highest good of all parties? And we ask. And we have to check our feelings. Now, we have two different feelings. There's your emotional feelings. Sometimes they can be influenced by fears and emotions of elation and happiness that are really just temporary, almost euphoric, almost like a drug. And then there's the feeling of contentment and peace, or that sick, something's going to go wrong feeling in your stomach. And again, I think we've all experienced those feelings. Being in love can elicit this euphoric feeling. Feeling a sense of danger or being afraid when you're on a dark street and you're not sure if someone's following you, and you get that weird feeling over your body and you know you have to move quickly and you might not be safe, but you're not sure. That uncertainty, that fight or flight feeling in the pit of your stomach. That's a feeling that we know and we recognize. So there are feelings that come from the divine that when we sit and we're still, God essentially is answering the prayers. And most of prayer's answers are, you're going to have to wait. Or you're going to have to allow this to pass. Or you picked it, sorry, but we won't put you on a never-ending hold. We're just going to suggest that you fasten your seatbelt, and when you're going through the rough part, know that we're mitigating the damage of wherever you're at in your free will choice, and as soon as the angels can yank you out, we've got you. But we need it immediately. And then there are those prayers, there are those moments, those near misses, those possibilities of death or an accident, where you're asking for assistance. And you're really praying that God can save you because the car's spinning around and you don't know what's about to happen. You don't know if you're going to hit another car, if you're going to hit a sidewall. You're not sure. And the next thing you know, as you come out of the spin, there's no one near you. The car is facing the right way, and to your great surprise, everything's fine. Not a scratch on you. You see, God answers those prayers. And those prayers seemingly are miracles. And they are. But that's the divine, the angels intervening at that moment for you. Because if something were to happen tragic, because of a misstep of another, it would take you off the path of destiny. Remember in the beginning, I did say that there's a big divine plan. And we get to orchestrate and decorate, but within the scope of the plan. And so we have assistance. We just have to learn to be patient. And God hears everything. Your angels hear everything. Your loved ones feel everything with you. And they're supporting you. Even those loved ones who, perhaps on earth, were not the most congenial, were not your best friend. They're in a higher realm. And they too are rooting for you and helping you and really working to be sure that all is well. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to connect with all of you here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. Listen to us on Facebook. Watch the show on YouTube and leave your comments and your questions in the feed. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Before I walk through the door, do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul?
Bad thoughts, bad eyes, then please shield yourself up with the circle of white light. Then cover yourself with the energy of Archangel Michael and an invincible shield so that nothing can penetrate you. And do some spiritual bathing, some spiritual cleansing. Keep your energy clear. Keep some black tourmaline with you. That will also help keep the energy clear, Denise. And just know that you are invincible. And with the power of Archangel Michael, nobody can touch you. And kind of think to yourself, I'm rubber, you're glue. What you send to me bounces off of me back to you. There you go. Thanks so much, Denise Kennedy, for your Facebook question. Who else do we have here on Facebook or on YouTube? Iris. Iris says, hey, Sarah, how is Israel feeling about me? Thank you. And Iris, she's in Switzerland. So thank you, Iris, for following us in Switzerland. Iris, good to see you. I know you've been following us on the show for quite a while. So Mr. Israel's going through a world of changes, and I really feel like he's trying to break free, break out, break from something that's been kind of holding him back. And you're in this energy of freedom. You're ready to move on with your life and see the big picture and celebrate you and celebrate good times. So the feelings are there. I'm just feeling he's feeling a little stuck there, Iris. So patience is a virtue with Mr. Israel, and just let him figure out how he gets from what he's got going on, this stuck, stagnant, blocked feeling that I have, so that he can be working his way to something permanent and sustainable with you. Thanks so much, Iris, for your Facebook question, and thanks for following us in Switzerland. God bless you. Who else do we have? We're going to our YouTube channel, our YouTube friends, and we've got KBNY, Florida. I think that's what we got. Oh, back it up there. We just clicked past something. Go back. Okay, there we go. I have 2 job interviews coming up. Drum roll, please. Thank goodness you do. One close to home, one further away. They're 2 different positions. Does one look more favorable than the other? Well, without having the vibration of the company or a sound associated with the company, I will say this to you. We need to look at the financial reward, the growth, the one that has the most ability to grow, financial reward. Sometimes we're fooled by something that's closer because it sounds more convenient. But I want you to look at the structure. Is there a structure to grow? Is there a structure for financial wellness? And what will pay you more? And I want you focusing on the growth. How can I grow in the industry? And look at that as your key to the solution to which you should choose. And I would pray that you get offered the one that's for your best and highest good, and this will make it beautiful for you. So let's take a look at this in the weeks to come. Thanks so much, KBNY Florida. We greatly appreciate you for your YouTube question. We're going to pull one more before we go to our friends in our phone lines here. So let's see. We got Breezy. Let's see. Breezy, she said, so will I make a complete independence, financial freedom, and prosperity? Will I overcome this too, this Goliath? Well, Goliath went through quite a bit, right? So if we're making our reference, the way I interpret the statement in the YouTube, yes. However, where you are now is a time of reaching out, connecting. There's an important aspect of meeting new people, branching out, feeling the freedom of how you can acquire independence and financial freedom. So we need the resources, the connections, and the people. And that is exactly the focus of your 2022. So, Breezy, if you can put that together, this will actually be a very prosperous year for you and bring you that financial freedom. Think outside the box, my friend, and things will start to look a little better and brighter. Well, keep your questions coming to us on our Facebook and our YouTube feed. We greatly appreciate them. And we are going to ask that you share the page, share the light, share the love. And we are going to go to the phone lines. And I'm going to go to Arizona. I've got Miranda on the line. Miranda, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Miranda. Good to connect with you. And what is your question for us?
So first I just want to say that Jackie Hemingway sent me.
Yes.
She was amazing. So she told me about you. But my question is, I've been feeling a little tired lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking, I don't know how to ask this, but I was wondering, could that be a pregnancy or is it a health issue?
Okay, let me look at yourself here. So just give me a minute. I got to take a look at all the energy that's around you here. You see, the first thing they made me aware of is that when you were around people, you've been very empathic, right? You find yourself taking a lot of energy from other people. Is that true? Do you find that, honey?
Yeah, sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like it's actually more energetic, and there's an imbalance in the physicality that makes me feel as if we also have something going on in the blood work. Have we done blood work? Because the blood work seems off to me. Not a doctor, can't diagnose. But Miranda, what I'm seeing here is that there's a difficulty in the blood. So have we done any blood work?
I did a couple years ago, but yeah, I do. I do agree.
Low deficiency, some iron, something. So I can't tell you what to do because I'm not in a medical profession to do that. Look at supplements, look at things that you feel aligned to take. I would do a blood panel to see what's going on. And I would do something to spiritually cleanse your energy. Most certainly we can recommend something. You can visit my website or just shoot us a note, and we will kind of help you kind of clear the external part of your energy, because essentially what happens is you pick up so many people's energy. You're basically holding on to this vibration of other people's gunk is the best way I could describe it. Does that make sense to you, Miranda?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great. Well, we hope we've been of service to you and we answered your question. And you be sure to tell Miss Jackie that we said hello. Those of you who are like, oh, who's Jackie? Jackie actually used to be a part of our center, and she worked with us for many, many years. She was like my right-hand person for about 6.5 years. So, Miranda, thank her for sending you our way, and we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and I'm going to go to Pamela, and Pamela is in Georgia. Pamela, how are you tonight?
I'm well, Sarah. Thank you.
Good to connect with you. And how can I assist you?
Well, this is a thank you call.
Yes.
For what you do with us and for us on Wednesdays. I had talked to you about a month ago about a situation where I felt like I was an underdog, and you had helped me, through that situation and told me there would be a next phase, and I'm in that next phase now. And I was struggling with that next phase, but the gift you've given me is the ability to also help myself. And I just wanted to share a cute thing on topic tonight about prayers.
Yes.
I was working on doing the next phase for this situation, and I worked on it on Saturday and Sunday. It requires, responses and typing. And on Monday night, the whole thing disappeared out of my email.
Wow.
And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That was hours and hours of work. So I stuck to it, and I typed from 10:30 in the evening to about 3 a.m., and I saved it again. And then I have that, but I went to typing yesterday, and I typed 2 hours more, and then that disappeared. And I said, what is going on? And to what you're sharing with all of us tonight about taking a pause, I took that pause, moved my attention on, am I on the right path?
Yeah, you are. And let me just say this. We were trying to push through in the inevitability of I've got to tackle this next phase, and there's a little uncertainty. So I'm going to muster up my thoughts and document them and present them. But perhaps we were still coming from a place of uncertainty and fear. And what the pause does is allow us to sit and be still and find the energy of connection so that the divine can guide you. So yes, you're on the right track. Of course, take the most important pertinent notes and place them on paper, because we'll always have that, and we can continue to script from there. And if I were you, I would sit and I would really meditate and I would pray. And I would then say, in this moment of now, I align myself to the universe that knows and sees all, the divine truth, the divine justice. And I ask that the words that will elicit the truth will bring forth the highest outcome for me, the desire to resolve this for the highest good and expeditiously, that this will channel through me as I am the extension of God in this moment.
And is my partner that is helping and advising and part of this along the way the best partner for that as well? I have the help that I need, hopefully.
Yes. Take out the hopefully. In the moment of now, there's an alignment, and God has put the right people in your path. You've put together the right person. And at this moment, this is an alliance that is necessary. So I want you to stay in that truth of that and know that everyone who comes into your path is bringing some information or some sparkle or something that the story needs and the outcome requires. So allow it to be, and you'll know what is what, who is who over the timeline. Now, are they the right person for the long haul forever? Well, see, that becomes a different question, right? So at this moment, they are here for that reason. Live in the moment of now. Yesterday's the past. Tomorrow has yet to come. How we think and feel in this moment of now is creating tomorrow. So we want to stay focused on the actions now, how they feel, and the vibration that they're emitting that dictates the future. This answers the question, yes?
Yes, and I thank you because you're teaching me to open and be able to discern so much of this for myself, too.
Thank you. And then you, in turn, are teaching others by your questioning. So for that, we thank you. Thank you so much, Pamela in Georgia, for joining us, and we appreciate the appreciation for the work that we do, that we most certainly appreciate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to come right back to the phone lines and keep answering your questions.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah at 888-565-1470. Give us a call. Ask us your questions. We are talking about life and everything that's going on. We've got quite the conversation going on in the feed, and I need to tell you what we've got coming up here. We have some big things coming up. We have our wonderful ceremony for the spring equinox coming up Monday night. I can't believe it seemed like just the other day we planned all these classes and we've buzzed right through all the classes, and this is our spring ceremony. That is our intention setting ceremony. Monday night, it is only $10. If you want to set your intention for your success, then I strongly suggest that you join us and celebrate your intentions and create the energy. We're also going to be working on some energy for the world and shifting the consciousness by sending out our prayers of peace and calling in the angels. So we sure hope you join us. It is available online. Go to SarahSpiritual.com, register, and you'll be sure to get a link the day of the class. And then we have our famous Spiritual Apprentice program. Yes, indeed, our Spiritual Presence Mastery program has been with us since 2013, and it makes a difference in people's lives. And all of my students have gone on to live their highest and best joyful life. So I sure hope you join me for my Spring Apprentice 2022. It is available on the 31st is the first class. It is a 6-week program. That too, visit SarahSpiritual.com and learn all about the different classes and all the details. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. And I'm going to go to Terry Ann. And Terry Ann is in Australia. Terry Ann, how are you tonight?
I'm well, thank you, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're doing well here. And what time is it for you in Australia?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Well, happy morning to you. And you are a day ahead of us, right? So you are on your Thursday already, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful. So, Terry, how can we help you tonight?
So, Sarah, I have spoken to you previously,
Yes.
In particular with my brother's murder.
Yes.
I've actually made a very big decision so that I can heal to move on.
Yes.
I submitted to the Commonwealth Attorney General yesterday because the father that put the contract on my brother's life was never charged.
Yes.
And to this day has never been charged. He was a third party. He arranged it.
Mm-hmm.
His two sons got charged. I've since had death threats from one of the murderers of surveillance.
Yes.
I'm not being helped in any way. Is there anything that's coming through from Spirit for me to make my next move?
So there's a thought of a move. Did we consider a move, please?
I can't afford it at the moment, Sarah. I just don't have any money.
Okay. But sometimes things open up for you, you know, and there is someone connected to you that had made a promise of money, Terry, and they didn't come through. Is that correct, please?
Not that I'm aware of. Domestic violence did say that they would be able to help me, but I haven't had... I mean, they've been wonderful, don't take me wrong,
Yes.
but I haven't...
Well, stay in touch with them, my guides are telling me, because something can come of that to help you. The resistance here is that somehow the story has been painted that you don't know what you're talking about. So it's almost like they're not paying attention to you in the police force. So this is kind of creating a little disconnect. And in that disconnect, we are going to have to trust that they are going to be seen for the illusionary people that they are at this moment. But I am seeing an opportunity for you to have someone come in, place those cameras in, and reach a higher up. We still need to go to the higher ups in the district for you so that they can be of assistance. Terry, we are going to take a break, but I don't want to end this call at this moment. So if you'd be so kind, we're going to ask that you stay on hold for us. And when we come back, we're going to connect back into your call as soon as I come back into the show in just a few minutes. Are you able to do that, Terry?
I most certainly can, Sarah.
All right.
I'm very grateful for you speaking with me.
All right. Thank you so much, Terry in Australia. Stay with us. We're going to take a break, everyone, and hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going back to Australia. And then we're going to go to Michigan. We're going to go to New York. We're going all across the country. Heck, all across the globe. Stay with us. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN. We'll be right back.
There's a light. There's a light.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with SarahSpiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program.
If you believe in things are meant to be, then you will see the world the way it's meant to be. This time knows no place. can't control. The world will find a way to bring it back someday. What's meant to be. Only time will tell the way it's meant to be. If you believe in things you cannot see, the world will bring it back instantly. What you may have thought you lost along the way, everything will come your way. Everything will come. All your dreams will be the way they're meant to be. If you believe in things are meant to be, then you should start to think differently. But time doesn't hold a hand against your heart. It all comes together when you take the time to believe. Just take the time to see what life can be when you believe. Nothing can stand in your way when dreams are reality, and it is meant to be. Look in your heart and believe in the dreams, 'cause they were meant to be. Standing at the corner now, watching everybody pass me by. I've been waiting for my time, but I don't know which way to go. I'm at the crossroads of my life, and I don't know which way to go. I know there's no room for mistakes, 'cause it's time for me to move on. Somehow life just swept me in, and as I stand here, I'm aware that everything I've done that brought me here, but I'm at the crossroads of my life. There's no time or mistakes. This is my defining moment now.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, from your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN, 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we were having a very interesting conversation before we went to the break with Terry Ann in Australia. So we're going to go back to Terry Ann in Australia. And Terry Ann, I have some guidance for you, Terry Ann, regarding this matter. So, Terry Ann, in regard to the person who was responsible for asking for someone to be, to use your exact words, murdered. Yes, this is the topic we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I see that there is going to be resolution. And I know you're saying that they're not charging, but I do feel that a charge is going to be brought. It's not something that's happening at this moment, but I do feel that right now there are people who are not able to talk, are scared to talk, not willing to talk. So they're not pointing the fingers in the right place, okay? So this is a problem. So people have been threatened, unfortunately, and this has gotten a complicated storyline filled with fear. The involvement of the people, so a lot of people were paid off. So people have been paid off to keep their mouth shut. But the truth is going to come out. We may not see the resolution of the story in this immediate time. You said your brother, please? Is that who you said, please? Yes, your brother?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, Sarah.
A brother? We were talking about something with your brother earlier, yes?
Yeah, so my brother was the one that was murdered,
Yes,
but
right.
My daughter's stepbrother,
Mm-hmm.
he was the one that I spoke to you about before that was selling drugs from the house, and I kicked him out.
So we're going to
But
talk about your
he-
brother for a minute, please, because I just wanted to, because I was hearing brother, and I wanted to make sure that I was connecting the dots correctly here. Your brother's birthday, please, when is that?
14th of November, 68.
Okay. So first of all, our condolences, horrific energy around this murder. And here, but he didn't listen to his feeling because he had a sense that someone was going to turn on him. From what you know of the story, Terry, does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
So someone was going to turn on him, and he had a feeling, but he didn't listen to that, and that's why he is on the other side, and his story on earth ended.
Yes.
But he says thank you because you have always looked out for him. No matter what he was up to, you always had his back. This is true, Terry, yes?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
I loved him so much, and I still do. I'm still up against one very, very volatile member of the police force.
Yes.
And I cannot actually reach out for help to advise that a contract, the murder is looking for me now.
Well, it's going to take some time to unravel, break through the power. We need to keep the fortress there because there's certain people we cannot allow to get into our house because they are not a good vibration for you. Follow back up with the people for the domestic violence. They will be of service to you eventually. Remember, everything got bogged down, backed down during this pandemic. And you all there were in a very severe lockdown in Australia. And hopefully things are picking back up now and they'll be able to come of assistance. For this moment, Terry Ann, we have to complete this call. I thank you for holding for us. And the reason why I wanted you to hold is I did feel your brother wanted to come through so you would know he was okay. And he wanted to thank you for all that you did for him when he was alive. And that he acknowledges he wasn't the most, straightforward person. And he ran with a very savory, unruly bunch. You're welcome. Kathleen, have we spoken before?
Yes, we spoke in January.
Okay. So let me just tune in here. Okay. All right, Miss Kathleen, what is your question for me?
It's regarding my daughter, Brooke.
Yes.
February 26, 1997 is her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gone through many issues with possible med changes or just her mind not working clearly.
Okay.
And she just ran away twice.
All right, bear with me. I'm going to interject as spirit comes through. So when you first give me your daughter's birthday, the first word I write on my paper is depression. So there's a great depression. There is an imbalance. Your daughter feels like, interesting, like there are people who don't want her to be happy or not people are against her. Does this make sense to you, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way
They're
she's feeling.
out to get her, yes. And she's very sensitive to energy. So, again, medical science, psychology, they are best to diagnose this. But there is a spiritual component with your daughter, Brooke, and the energy that I feel also is that she's very sensitive to other people's energy, their spiritual energy, and she kind of feels things and interprets things as either positive and okay or negative, and she's very attuned to picking up on the negative things. And she doesn't feel like she belongs. Your daughter feels like she doesn't belong on the planet. She feels as if she was just kind of literally dropped off from a spaceship. This is the feeling of the energy. I don't know if she ever talks about energy or beings or aliens or something, but she definitely doesn't believe she's from this planet. She doesn't feel like she fits in. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So she ran away. Now let's continue with what you were sharing, please.
Wife ran in traffic to run all the way home to her dad and her aunt that live 5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just her obsession fixation or delusional from the medications, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
We know she's chemically imbalanced, but the home she lives in is an AFC home for Prader-Willi, her disorder.
Okay.
And they said they would take her back, but she cannot run again. That would be the last straw, the last time. Right now she's at the hospital finally. It took 7 visits to the emergency room to get her in the hospital, and they're still looking for placement for her to keep her safe while we're regulating the medications.
Exactly.
And I've lost my connection with her. I've always been intuitive to what she's feeling, but I just feel like we're not connected anymore either.
Well, definitely, I'm feeling as if the facility, Kathleen, they're not having enough things in place for her safety. The fact that she's able to get out makes me feel as if they're not keeping things on a proper protocol and closure. She shouldn't be able to just get out, yes?
They can't lock the doors, and they can't take the phone away from her. And
is there like a fence around the facility or?
Yeah, have anything like that just because of the state regulations in the AFC home.
Okay, I understand.
But I just want to see if you can see that she does work her way back to this home. It's the only home that will help her. It is her home. She's been there for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
She needs to be there. She needs to be. So I don't know how to get her to the next stage. It's out of my hands right now while they're playing with medications and her behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But my son and I are at a loss. We don't know what to do for her because she's fixated on going to live with her dad, who is not a good person, and the aunt is not a good person, and don't want anything to do with her. But she said to my son today, I'm not going back to my AFC home.
Okay.
I'm going to go live with my dad, and that's not going to happen.
Well, she has a belief that her wounded self, the part that wants to be loved and accepted by her dad, this is the part that's speaking and is acting up. And this is the part that wants that love and that safety. And she has made up her mind in her mind. But you, as her mother, can talk to her soul. And the way that you do this is you sit across from her in your vision, as if you were sitting across from her at the kitchen table, just having cookies and tea. And I want you to say to her, Brooke, I'm here for you and I love you. And I want you to be safe. And your dad did the best he could, but he's not the person who can give you the love and the protection that you need right now. And you have nothing to prove because you are worthy of love. It's his bad actions and bad behavior that are creating this divide. And you're not responsible for that. And you have nothing to prove to him. You have to see yourself explaining it to her as if she was sitting right there with you. And as you're saying this, Kathleen, what is happening is you are essentially connecting to her soul and rationalizing to her human mind so that her soul can remind her why she connected to be incarnated with your family in the first place. And it was to heal herself and love herself. And she is most certainly not properly medicated right now.
Okay, that's what we thought. Now, do you see her going back to this AFC home?
Well, as you said, it is conditional. But I'm from the land of we're going to hold the vision and the space of what we desire, right? When we worry about what might happen that may not be good for the outcome as we see it, then we facilitate what we don't want. So we're going to focus on the fact that they have said yes, that they want her a little more stable. You're confident that you're working on this. We're not going to release her from where she is until she is more stable. And then when she gets there, she's going to need the proper guidance. And is there therapy? Do they give her a therapy session? Are they working with her from there?
Psychiatrist to work with her, yes.
Okay. So as they work with her, we're going to need to change the approach and how we reach her a little better. All right? Are you with me?
I'm trying to be.
I understand.
She's just so fixated right now
I
that we
understand.
can't get her past that. That happened last June, too, when she was in psychosis and mania. So now she's doing it again, but it's a totally different thing this time,
Right.
but the same thing.
And
I'm
that's,
going to go live there and run away again.
well, it's
And
a cyclical pattern that we need to find the proper medication and the proper therapeutic strategies to redirect her thoughts. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the experts to help redirect her thoughts and the experts in the medical field who can align her with the proper medication. She
Okay.
just wants to be loved by him and accepted by him. And that is what she's yearning to do. She doesn't feel like she belongs. And she's shut off to the world until she gets the result she wants because she's that fixated. And that's why you're not connecting to her or that you know of.
right, should we contact the dad and the aunt?
Well, they've already said they didn't want to be bothered with her, so I don't really know that that's going to accomplish anything. You see, the concern is that if they don't give her the behavior and the reaction that she desires, even if you were to orchestrate a meeting under some type of approval of medical science, right, that says, hey, this is okay, but under these conditions, we can't predict what they'll say. And that could hurt her and send her further over the edge. So it's a very delicate situation. But remember that God is in control.
So if I can just powerfully just be positive that she can make it back to this home, do you see her having happiness anytime soon?
Her version of happiness is different than the happiness that you, as a mother, had wanted for her. So the life that you envisioned for her in the path that you saw for her, that is not quite the story that she's going to have. She's not going to have the same life path. But understand this, that there is a reason and a powerful storyline underneath the surface that you cannot see that is part of a divine plan, as I said earlier in the show. So this divine plan, however difficult it is for her to endure and for you to watch as a mother, is part of a story for her to find herself and heal herself in this lifetime. And so we pray for her healing, we pray for her peace, and we pray for the assistance from medical science to give her the balance that she requires so she can find her version of happiness and joy. And it is a journey. And when I look at the journey here for her, I feel that this year, towards the end of the year, is a year where she's a little bit more approachable, a little more connected to people. And again, if she can find the right sector of connections, she can begin to build a version of life for herself. Right now, she's trapped in her body and a mind that do not connect on the right pathways, and they are not allowing her to live life as we envisioned for her. There is a version of happiness, and I know it's frustrating for you that it's not one that is what we imagine for all of our children. But she will find her peace. I hope that we've given you some assistance and guidance. Please talk to her on a soul level, Kathleen.
Okay, I'll have to set up an appointment with you to learn how to do that. I mean, I know you just told me, but
I
I
understand.
think there's probably much more to that.
There's a bit more, of course, and perhaps a bit more we could say. We are on radio, so we have to kind of keep it to a nice, quick little summary. So when it works for you, Kathleen, we will go over this in an appointment when it's convenient for you. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. And I've got to go to New York. I've got Kamini in New York. Kamini, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Kamini. And what is your question for us?
I wanted to know about, I am going to the doctors, so I just want to say that first. But my heart's been, bothering me for a couple of months, and they are, looking into it, but I don't feel like they're finding anything, and I just want to know what Spirit has to say about that.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose you here, but I'm feeling a lot of anxiety. You're feeling some palpitations. You're feeling some pressure there, please?
I'm not anxious, or if I'm, doing physical things, it'll act up. So is, there something more to it than the anxiety?
Well, I'm feeling that there's anxiety here that's exacerbating it, and I'm feeling as if there's some palpitations that are here, and it is being triggered by anxiety. But what we want to do is we want to do some testings on the heart to rule out anything else, right?
Yeah.
And we have to do that because we want to examine that. And I also feel, again, being led to say this, not because I can diagnose you, but I see blood work, blood panels. I feel like we may have some levels that are off in the blood as well. Sometimes when things are off in the blood, it impacts the heart. So, again, do your research, speak to a doctor, make sure they do a thorough blood panel, and identify all the minerals and the levels so that we know that maybe you're missing something. Maybe you have something off in a type of potassium or something that is kind of helping trigger this. So again, this is something that a medical professional can help you with. I also see opportunity for a raise. Are you up for a raise, Kamini?
At my current job, I don't know.
Okay. I see a raise. I see more money coming to you. So this is something that I see by June. Are we on a temp or a permanent at this time?
This one is permanent. I've been there over a year now.
Okay. I see a raise.
So if I could ask just one more question.
Yes.
Will my relationship with my daughter's father improve because we're separated and he's very reluctant to communicate with me, and I just want to know if that's going to improve.
Okay, so when you first started to ask the question, will my relationship, my guides instantly said, as they touched their head, what relationship? No, it's not going to improve. It cannot improve because he doesn't wish to engage. He has a wall up, and he doesn't want to go back to the way things were. Okay?
No, I don't want a relationship with him, but I want to communicate. If we have to say things with our daughter, we have to, make decisions about her health or things
well,
like that.
Right now he feels that you take an inch and make it a yard. He doesn't want to let you in because he doesn't want to engage in any other conversations, okay?
Oh, please, I don't want to be with him. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, oh, please, I don't want to be with him. He's the one that did everything wrong, not me. So I'm not going back to doing that.
I understand, but he just thinks you're going to try to weasel your way back. So that's why he's got his wall and he's protected and you can't enter the space. Okay, so it's not happening. Just let it go at this moment. There's no crisis with your daughter that requires communication. Everything's okay. Focus on what you need to do to rebuilding your life. And good things are coming, honey. Thanks so much for your call. Keep us posted on your health. All right. Goodbye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going back to the phone lines and we're going to visit our friends on Facebook. I understand we've got some interesting things happening out on our Facebook page. So pop into SarahSpiritual on Facebook and our YouTube page. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
All across the nation at 888-565-1470. Got some interesting questions tonight. Quite the conversation going on. And thank you to everyone who's calling from all over. Our friends in Australia. We had our Facebook friends from Switzerland asking us questions. We had our Australians calling in here to our phone lines, so we appreciate that. And I'm going to go back to the phone lines. We've had quite the busy night here, so please keep trying, and we are answering calls as fast as they come in. We have Rachel, and Rachel is in New York. Rachel, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rachel. Good to connect with you. And you're in New York?
Yes.
Okay. So here we have this energy of change here for you. You feeling like you need to change?
I just changed jobs like 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So the energy of change is here. So you needed a change, you changed jobs, and there's more change coming. Hold on to your hat, Nellie. This is the time for change. It is the time for you to move past things that don't serve you, close out the doors that don't work for you, and put yourself in the place of what makes Rachel feel good. And this job gives you room to grow because I feel like there's an area for you to grow to. Did we pick a place that has growth for us?
Okay. Yes, it has growth.
Okay. Rachel, I see the growth. I feel like this will be an important year for you, and that this is also going to yield you more money by the end of the year. This is also true, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your question for me, Rachel?
So I just wanted to see how the new job was going to work out for me because, it's new, it's different. So I just didn't know how it would work out.
Well, this is what we're talking about, yes. So the energy of the job is going to be a positive change for you. You needed to get out of the other job. It was kind of stuck. Is that true, please? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And was there a closing down of an aspect of the job as well? Were they moving people around at the job where you were before?
They're always moving and people leaving all the time,
Okay.
really leaving a
So
lot.
it just feels like it was very like revolving doors, the word I was looking for. They're showing it to me. I'm like, okay, we're playing charades here in my mind. So we have the revolving door, very toxic energy there. So this is a better jump for you. Look for places to grow in the organization. And you could always change again if you desire. But I feel like we should stick it out because this year could bring you an opportunity for a new job role after you've proven yourself to them. And I also see increase coming to you. And this organization is a little more stable from what you know and bigger, please? Yes?
Yes, way more stable and way more bigger.
Yes, bigger and more established. This is how they show it to me. So one is like a circus with revolving doors and a bunch of clowns. And the other one seems like they've got it together. They've got their act. They are into working with people and creating talent amongst their people and promoting people. And that they are based in making sure that their end result to the service and the client is a good product, yes?
Right.
So this is their focus. So in order to please clients and produce in a way that is satisfactory to the public, they have to take care of their employees at least a little better than the other zoo that you were at. So I get a good vibe on this, Rachel. I feel it's a good job. I also feel like you are ready for changes across the board. Work was just the beginning. Anything that doesn't work for you, the winds of change are upon you. We need to close the doors of things that don't work, and I want you to open up for new beginnings. I'm also made aware of an opportunity to take a trip for you, and this is something that comes in the month of July. Was there something you were thinking of doing in July, Rachel?
Actually, I just got back from Aruba last night. I was there for 5 days, and I
Good.
just got back.
Good. And I see you
last
doing
night,
something
last night.
in July as well, okay?
Okay,
So
so
there's
another
a
trip in July.
yes.
Okay.
And it might not be as fabulous as Aruba, but I still see a trip. All right. And the weather was fabulous in Aruba, yes?
Yes, it was warm, hot, and sunny every day.
Sunny every day, and if it rains for like 5 minutes.
It rained,
and,
it rained for like a couple of minutes, and that was it.
and that was it. That's their big rainstorm, right? And you should have the best tan, because when I went to Aruba, I had the best tan. So definitely gives you a good suntan. Rachel, did I answer your questions? Have I been of service to you?
Yeah, I just have one more question. With that, in the changes that you see, do you see any love coming within this year as well?
This is a powerful year for you to create the energy for love. 2023, I had to stop to think because sometimes I don't know what year it is anymore. We've just been blurring around. As I get closer to 2023, that's when I see you starting a new cycle of love, a new energy of love. And I feel like there's positive vibes after the end of this year into 2023 that leads to long-standing relationship. When I spin you back and I go to 2012, I go to 2013, I go to 2014, these seem like difficult times for you. Yes, they were times of change then as well, please?
Yeah.
Right? They were difficult. And so we've kind of passed through all of those difficulties that of the years have gone past, and we've got a whole new powerful vibe for your 2022 into 2023. And this is going to start a nice progression for you for relationship. When I move into the energy of potential union or marriage, they kind of move me into the 24 into 25. So we've got 23 as like we're getting close to love, 2022 into 23, depending on connections and meeting. And then when I move you out into the 2024 into 5, that's where I see marriage or commitments, some type of formal arrangement. All right, my dear?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.
Hi. 888-565-1470. And we have Shanine in New York. Shanine, how are you?
Hello, Sarah.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Is this your first time calling into the show?
Nope.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Nope, she says. You've been following the show for a while?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes. Well, good. Spread the word, honey. Spread the word. So we've got this powerful energy here for you. You got to get out of the box, got to break the routine. I am feeling like you are Feeling a little stuck, stagnant, and we've got to get into our creative flow. Does that make sense to you, Shanine?
Yes.
And what is the love question you have for me?
I don't know. I didn't call about that, but you could tell me.
They want you to ask about love. What's the question for love for me? Mm-hmm. She's stumped here. All right, go to your question. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a love question off the top of your head here? Because I feel like there's something.
What's going on? I don't know.
Okay. Birthday of the person, please.
I don't have anything like that.
Who's the birthday connected to that's the month of 4, which would be the April month, please?
Nobody that I know of.
Remember I said that?
Okay.
Later half of April. And Shanine, the energy of your grandmother has passed, standing above mother's side of the family. Yes, please. There's a woman connected to you as well. She seems to be offering you a lot of guidance. She was kind of connected to the family. Did she participate in the raising of people, please, or nurturing here? Because I see her very hands-on, involved. I see her like making sure people are fed and something with clothing. I don't know if she sewed or something, but she's got this very hands-on kind of attitude. She is with you, okay?
I know.
You can feel her, yes?
Yes.
What was your original question for me, honey?
Oh, my mother.
Okay. What's the question?
She wants to know why she's not sleeping. It may sound strange, but...
Your mom's very sensitive to energy. Have you cleaned out the house spiritually? Have you removed negativity? Have we done anything along those lines?
Well, she burns sage.
Okay. She needs to kick it up a notch. She needs to go to something a little stronger. If you go to my website, you have to go to Expedito Enlightenment Center. So EXPEDITO, enlightenmentcenter.com. You want to get some copal. You want to get some charcoal. You want to get some reversing spray made by C'est Moi, SarahSpiritual. And use that around the house. And she most certainly can benefit by keeping a glass of water with some kosher salt next to her bed to kind of keep the energy clear.
Okay.
We need to really clear the house from back to front, and then we'll see how she's doing. You can always call the store, and if she needs a little something else, maybe we send her a crystal or something that she needs to put by her bed.
Okay.
Simple little things. We are experts in keeping energy peaceful. Sleep in heavenly peace, right? We want her to sleep in peace, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mom sees a lot in the dream state as well, yes? She's like a visionary. She gets her messages in the dream state, right? And your grandmother has come to your mom recently as well, yes?
That I don't know.
You have to check with her because
yes.
Grandma's been around her. And then what's going on with Mom's stomach, please? Mom's having problems with her stomach, trouble with her stomach?
Yes.
Okay. She's got to keep an eye on that. I don't know if it's lower intestine, something in that area. So we want to see how that's working, all right? So check in on that. Maybe we need to change diet, consult a medical professional, do some kind of cleanse, something. Colon, lower intestines just seems off to me, all right?
Okay.
Thank you so much, my dear. All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night. Bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. Do we need to take another break? We're going to take another break, and then we're going to come right back to the phone line. So don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we're back to the phone lines, 888-565-1470. I got to tell you, we are sitting here saying, my goodness, the phone lines are ringing and we just want to hang with you. And I just came up with a plan. So, when I come up with a plan, everyone who knows me gets a little nervous. I'm like, I have an idea. So I said it to my producer, and now he's all frazzled because he actually thinks he can get it accomplished. So I can. He says I can. So watch out, guys. We're rooting for you over here. We want to make sure you get as much I Love Sarah Spiritual as possible. And we're going to go to, we've been all over the place, but there's a state we haven't gotten to yet that I've got to get to tonight. And I have the state of Connecticut, and I've got Amanda on the line. Amanda, how are you?
Hi, Sarah.
How are you, honey?
Thank you for taking my call. Good. Because believe it or not, today was 1 year ago I showed up to your center in Florida with my grandfather, believe it or not.
Wow.
And 1 year later, I'm talking to you on the radio and getting ready to come back down to Florida.
Back to Florida, yes, for your big adventure that you're going to have. And it's going to be a great experience for you. I see it opening up a lot of opportunities for you, Amanda. It's going to give you a lot of flow. It's going to give you an opportunity to express yourself, be more creative. You're going to learn a lot. And, I really feel that Florida is a good place for you. It's a strong vibration for you. It's going to expand your spirituality. And it's a tremendous adventure. And it's going to give you credibility and stability in a workplace that is going to help you advance yourself for your future. So this is a great opportunity that you have. And I know that you're more than up for the challenge. I know that the angels have got you. You'll be very protected. And I do know for sure that this is what your grandfather wanted for you. He wanted for you to have this opportunity. He did everything he could facilitate it for you. And he believes that you are more than capable of this adventure and doing it on your own. And you will be fine. When I open up the space and the energy, interestingly enough, he tips his hat to me and he says, thank you. And so for this, he thanks me for the assistance that we have shared together in guiding you. But he also wants you to know that you are the closest and nearest and dearest to his heart because he always viewed you as a daughter. Does this make sense to you, Amanda?
It was bad.
Yes.
And the way I was told was horrible. My uncle thought it was best to send an obituary, Sarah, and tell me he died. And I'm struggling really bad yesterday. And I feel like, I don't know if he's crossed to the other side the next day, like you said, but I just needed to call and connect with you to make sure I'm on the right path, getting back to my step-grandmother Sunday.
Yes.
And if you got any messages, because we're all feeling him around and we're all missing him. And there's this jacket that no one knows where it is, like he kept talking about last summer. And they said he picked it up a week before he got sick. And no one knows where this jacket is.
And it's like a leather jacket, please?
Yes, he kept talking about it.
Yes, I see it. And it's like a jacket he would wear on a motorcycle or something, like a bomber leather jacket, yes?
I seen leather. I thought it was connecting to the fire department. I don't know where this jacket is. Lisa doesn't know where it is. I don't know if they have it somewhere safe and they're going to give it to me. I don't know. I'm connecting with a lot of the students up here that remember him. I want to give him the proper service and honor to bring him home. And it's just been very hard.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry that you were informed of the passing of your grandfather in a way that was very impersonal. However, you know, your relationship with your grandfather was the most personal, connected, authentic, loving, energetic connection. He believed in you. You were his world. He made sure that when you were here, you had everything you needed and wanted. And that's how he's always been for you. And from the other side, he will articulate the instructions one way or another. You'll feel him, you'll see him, and he will give you the signs, and he also will facilitate things falling into place. When other people behave badly, Amanda, and they don't honor someone's loss and pain, or they don't honor someone's feelings, we cannot stay hurt because of their actions, because they're just in their wounded self, and perhaps they're coming from a jealous, triggered, hurt place. So the best you can do for yourself is say, I know what I know of my grandfather. And your grandfather is with you. He's supporting you. He loves you. And he is never going to energetically disconnect from you. He will always be connected in the energy of the divine. And while he's able, when he's able, he's going to send you messages. And then one day when we are all in heaven, we're all going to party together. And it's this sense of love and completeness. At this moment, they're getting ready to wave me off, but I know your grandfather's with you. I'm glad that it landed on the anniversary of the day I first met him. So I'm honored to say that, and I must say that must be why he tips his hat to me, his favorite hat at that. And the jacket is a material thing. Your grandfather will always be in your heart, honey, and he's always going to be with you. For now, we are complete for our call, but I know we will talk again. Perhaps we should do a session via the phone or FaceTime before you come here so we can have a plan of action. So go to SarahSpiritual.com and let's see if we can connect for a reading via phone personally so that we can iron out the details. For now, I've got to go, honey, all right? God bless you. You're welcome. Bye for now. You got it. Bye. Well, everyone, for now, we're going to say farewell. We thank our loved ones and our guides who have been of assistance to us. Remember, when God answers prayers, sometimes the answer is, be still, wait. I've got something better coming for you. So when it's not answered, there's still an answer coming. Thank you so much for joining us. We thank Spirit for the answers. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
Oh, there's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily